Hey guys, welcome to this week's lesson segment on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Jase Hintz here with you again. And as I promised about 2 weeks ago, we're going to go over the group tuning this week. So right now, I'm going to be shooting 60 yards. You can see the little yellow target way down there. And all I'm doing basically is I'm going to shoot all 5 of my arrows and see how they group. Once I get my first group down, what I'm doing is I'm going to start moving my weight on my bow, up or down. Basically, it'll be like 1 pound to 2 pounds at a time to see what'll get my groups to get tighter. All this is doing is basically testing the spine of your arrow, and it's going to be, I already got my arrows that I think are perfect for my bow. So all I got to do is just adjust my weight, try to get the perfect flex out of them to get the smallest, tightest group possible. So I'll show you guys how I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to fling my first 5 arrows, and I'll probably do it about 3 or 4 times just to adjust, obviously your first movement. If it gets smaller, you might want to try it again and see if you can get it a little bit smaller even. Otherwise, it'll start going backwards again. So you just got to kind of remember where your weight is at when you're actually having your tightest group, so you can go back to what that was and leave it there for the rest of the season. So I'm going to try my, outdoor stuff here and see how it goes. Alright, so this is one of my groups here. As you can tell, it's not that bad. I'm not worried about hitting the paper or not hitting the paper. Like, I could move my sight obviously, but you don't want to move your sight while you're doing this because obviously your groups aren't going to be consistent actually, or they're not going to count for how consistent you're shooting. It's going to be more you moving your sight and your arrows moving to where you're moving your sight. But this is, size of a softball. I can fit my hands around it, not too bad. I know I can definitely shoot it tighter. So I'm going to try, right now I'm going to take my pounds off of my bow actually, just because I think that would be more of the way that I need for my arrows. So I'm going to take, 2 pounds off and I'm going to shoot again. Hopefully I can get a little bit tighter. And again, I'll probably move my sight just so I can hit where I'm aiming, but I'm not going to worry about exactly where I'm hitting because again, it doesn't matter at all. That's why you just shoot I aim at the middle every single time, and if they all hit here, that's okay. It doesn't matter where I'm hitting. I'm just trying to get the tightest group possible right now. So we'll go back, we'll try it again and see if we can get a little bit tighter by taking off 2 pounds. Okay, so I got back, I turned my bow down 2 turns basically on my limb bolt. So you're looking at, anywhere between 1 pound to 3 pounds depending what kind of bow you got and what your bow's set at. But I'm assuming it's going to be about 2 pounds. So I'm going to shoot and see if my groups get any tighter or not. And if it gets worse, obviously I'm going to go back and add weight. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to, if it gets better, I'll try dropping a little bit more to see if I can get it even more tight. So we'll shoot 5 more here, see how it goes. Alright, as you can see, my group got a little bit worse actually from taking the weight off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on 2 pounds from where I originally started. So it's going to be basically 4 turns on my limbs up in weight. And I'm going to see if I can get it a little bit tighter. If not, I'm going to go back to the original one and leave it where it was. But it got a little bit worse when I went down, so that means my arrows are probably over-spined right now, a little bit too stiff for what my setup actually. So I'm going to take it out and I'm going to shoot again, and I'm going to see where I'm at after I add the weight back on and see if I can get a nice tight group. Alright, so I added the 4 pounds back onto my bow, and now we're going to go and we're going to shoot again, and see how it works out, and hopefully my group will get tighter actually. And then if it does, obviously I can play more later and just add more weight and see if it'll help. If not, go back down some more. And you just kind of go back and forth until you get that nice tight pattern that you're looking for. But obviously going lighter did not help me, so I'm going to try adding more weight on and seeing how that tightens up my group as well. Maybe my arrows are a little overspined, a little too stiff for taking weight off. So now if I add more on, it might actually make them more flexible basically and make it actually a tighter group. So we'll shoot 5 more, see how it goes, and then yeah, see, hopefully it gets better. Well, as you can see, I added the pounds. I put it back to where I originally started, and I added 2 more pounds onto my bow actually. And as you can see, it got a lot tighter. So you can tell I'm starting to get into the spine of the arrows where I really want them to be. So what I'm gonna do, after this is done, is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna actually add 2 more pounds again and see if I can get it even more tight, or more forgiving basically, get more consistent. But as of right now, I'm really happy with how my group looks. I mean, I went from basically 2 hands down to 1 hand, which is pretty solid. So I'm gonna again try, it's always fun to play with this kind of stuff, shoot all your arrows into it and see if you can get them tighter or not. So as you guys noticed, I mean, basically it's just adding and dropping weight and seeing, not worrying about really where you hit, but how tight your group is. As you can see, I'm still hitting to the left like I have been from the beginning. And do I care? No, I can move my sight. It's not that hard. It's just the fact of I'm trying to see how tight my group can be. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it by myself here, and I'm just gonna try to get it more tight. And if not, whatever, I'm really happy with that. I mean, at 60 yards, that's pretty exciting. So I'm gonna do that. And yeah, if you guys got any questions about how we are doing this, or if you have any questions on, how to make it better for yourself, or where you can shoot this kind of long range indoors type deal, just give us a call at Bucks and Bulls, or stop in and ask us, or hang out with us, and we're more than happy to share our knowledge or whatever we pretend like we know or anything like that. So again, feel free to give us a call, check us out on Facebook, or check us out on YouTube. You can rewatch all these episodes, and hopefully it'll help you out in the long run, and hopefully I'll see you out there on the course. But otherwise, have a good week.